Sona's charm. Red lip talk. Red lip talk.
Girl, come sit with us and sip some tea.
Red lip talk.
Girl, come sit with us and sip some tea.
Red lip talk.
Oh, welcome,
Spice
welcome,
Diva.
welcome back. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Red Lip Talk, y'all, with your girl Spice Divas, the marketing diva. Yes, so we excited to be back on today. On Thank God It's Monday. Thank God it's Monday. And then I had stuff in my head. I was saying like this is gonna be Manifestation Monday. Yeah, Manifestation Monday. Let's manifest some good things. Some good things. So we're gonna have an amazing show. We manifesting it. Amazing show. Yes. Yes. On today. On today. And
Ooh, now y'all can hear me.
oh,
All
they
right.
can hear you. We live.
We
We
live.
live. So I know, for the last couple of shows, we didn't tell people how they could get in contact with us. I don't know, and what we do, we never did that for the last few
I
shows.
know. I didn't know. Maybe we grew up past that. We just figured
Yeah.
they know how to find us. But in case y'all don't know how to find us, I'm Sona's Charm. You can find me at sonascharm.com. Also, I am a beauty consultant as well as a travel agent. So you can find everything about Sona at sonascharm.com and my Instagram at Sona's Charm on IG and Sona's Charm LLC on Facebook.
There go your stuff. They rolled it up. Look, production got you up there.
There you go,
Sona's
girl.
Charm. Visit her and experience the charm.
Experience the charm.
Yes, experience the charm. Yes, I love it. I love it. I'm your girl Spice Divas. Lately since we did the Red Lip Talk, I started saying I'm the marketing diva. Because there's so many things. I did that shimmy with it. Because there's so many things that we have done as far as marketing with Spice Divas Beauty Bar. But again, you can find me at Spice Divas Kree, Spice Divas Beauty Bar. You can visit SpiceDivasBeautyBar.com, and when you see that, you will see my actual lip line. You see, I got my blingy lips on, and you would actually see the lip line. A lot of people have been asking about the lipstick. They came in the salon looking for it this week. So we're gonna restock and have more soon.
Good.
So
good.
yeah, hopefully at LSBBA we'll have a lot of them. So that's how you get in touch with us.
That's right. And speaking of LSBBA,
Yeah.
we have a conference coming up at the end of May, May
Yes.
27th.
Yes.
That's a Saturday to that Monday.
Yes.
So if you are a beauty entrepreneur, barber, esthetician, just in the beauty industry altogether, you need to be participating at this conference as either a student or instructor,
Yes.
but also vendors. We
Yes.
have vendor spots available.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, vendor spots. We have so far we have, I want to say, about 10 vendors that are already booked, and we only have limited spots. So we have 25 spots as far as vendors. So I want you guys to make sure that you contact me. I'm the trade show director for the vendors. The ribbon cutting will be that 28th. The conference starts on the 27th, but the ribbon cutting is the 28th. And you get to vend for 2 days. If you're a non-product vendor, you only get charged $150. And if you sell hair products and stuff, it's $200. But you vending for 2 days.
Right.
And not only that, it's in Kenner. You're going to be vending to professionals, barbers, beauticians, students, all the schools, Blue Cliff, Aveda, all those schools. So you vending for that amount of money. You can't beat that. You're going to make your money back
Right.
in probably that day.
This is
hours.
a state conference. So this is the entire state of Louisiana, and we want you to be a part of it. Help the organization grow. Put your name out there in the beauty industry and become a household name.
We want y'all to really be a part of that. Again, you can contact me. You can contact me on social media. And they had the flyer up. You can contact me on I call you rewind it back or go back so you can see the flyer so you can get that information. But we're very excited about that conference. There's something else. I know we talk about the tea topics. I know we gonna talk about one more event, but I wanted to talk about with the tea topics. I really wanted to talk about what's going on in the beauty industry.
Mm-hmm.
We've been getting a lot of blings, a lot of messages and stuff like that from Dr. Teresa Armstead as well as Dr. Beverly Smith. There's a lot of things going on in the beauty industry that you guys may not know about. But if you're a salon owner and you're watching this, or you in a beauty industry in some type of way, or if you just want to help us, what's trying to happen is they're trying to deregulate our industry by cutting the hours of training that you have to go through school. Usually, a cosmetologist have to do 15 hours, right?
Yes. At
Right.
1,500 hours,
1,500 hours.
which to me, honestly, is not enough time for all the information that you have to learn as
Right.
is. Okay.
Right.
And I mean, I went to school at night, so my time was actually extended from the 9 months to 2 years.
Okay.
So, the 1,500 hours is very crucial in learning, especially to prepare yourself for state board, because you have like a whole, whatever the last of the hours is, all of that is just state board preparation.
Yeah.
So, cutting those hours would be so detrimental to the information that we have to learn. People, I mean, some people are just born with, the gift. There you
Yeah,
go.
the
Some
gift.
people born with the gift.
Mhm.
I was not born with the gift. I was not born with the
You
gift.
was born with the gift with your hands
Well,
because of your makeup and everything
Well,
else.
okay, but I mean, even
As far as hair,
when,
you mean,
right, but
basically.
as far as hair, so in cosmetology, it's mostly hair. You mostly learn hair.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
and there are so many things with hair, so many different types of things that are going on that we're learning. It's constantly changing. Cutting those hours, I mean, it will just apply so much stress to the students. I'm-
Passing those state board,
No.
and then it's 12, and then it's 1,200 hours. They're trying to cut it to, and if they cut it to 1,200 hours, that's gonna mean that the people will not be able to get Pell grants for schools. So that's going to affect the schools, and the number of schools going to close down. So what that's going to do, that's going to make us not have cosmetologists. You're going to have more in-home kitchen beauticians,
Right.
right?
More
So
DIYs.
it's really messing up the whole beauty industry. So if you want to help us, this bill is HB 470. You can call. It already went to it arrived in the House. So the next step is for us to go to the Senate. The reason I know this, guys, because I'm not a political person. I don't even like dealing with the stuff. But it because of our Louisiana State Beauticians and Barber Association, because of the board members and stuff like that, and okay, I'm the trade show director and I gotta be involved. So because they keep calling me, I called my senator today, but I wound up calling the U.S. senator. And look, so he said, "What is the bill, ma'am?" I said, "It's HB 470, and I want this to," because he said, "Oh, wait, baby, hold on a second. I'm gonna give you the right person." So it was Mark Kamiri, or Kamir is the senator for
The state
us.
of Louisiana.
Yeah, for us. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So it's different people that you have to call in different districts and
Okay.
different parishes.
So it's within your district,
parish.
in your parish,
Yeah.
and then overall, who governs you in that state?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So you would have to Google, if you live in Harvey, who is my senator in Harvey? Who do I contact in Harvey? Who is my senator in Gretna? What district? Yada 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 yada, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay. So yes, that bill. I told Dr. Teresa I will mention it. I'll mention it.
We mentioned it.
All right, let's get on to some more tea topics.
All right, we want to say congratulations to a young man, New Orleans native, Dennis Barnes. He has set a national record for 125 colleges and over $9 million in scholarships. a New Orleans native, we hear so much negative stuff about our kids, about our communities, and we have had back to back. Because remember, we had the girls from St. Mary's. Now we have Dennis, and so we're just so excited. Because, as a young man in this society, that is a great accomplishment.
Congratulations, Dennis.
We are proud of you, and congratulations to your family.
Yes.
Because, that means his tribe, his community, they supported him, and they did everything they were supposed to do. So congratulations to all of you.
Yes. They have that thing that's saying that they say it takes a village. Yeah. So that village, whoever was pushing you, Dennis, how old is he? Because I might need to hook him up.
Well, he's a senior. He's a high school
he's
senior.
Too young for Bree. Okay. Because he's gonna have a good future.
You're gonna have Bree in the high seat.
I know. That's wrong. Okay, I just had to throw that in there. But another tea topic, we have Wendell Pierce, the actor. Mm-hmm. I remember him, the actor. I met him a couple of times, but I remember him, the actor in what's that movie? Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, yeah, he was in that.
Yeah, he was in Waiting to Exhale. I always remember him from Waiting to Exhale. But he's doing some great things in the community. After Katrina, he helped build 75 homes, rebuild homes.
In Pontchartrain Park.
New Orleans, in Pontchartrain Park. And you don't hear about that kind of stuff.
Right, right. So,
all we hear about negativity, we don't hear about that stuff.
Always. But it's great for people who doing big things to give back to their communities. And that's what it's all about. It's great that, you get riches and you become famous or whatever you're able to do. But, you got to reach back. You got to reach back, especially for people that's in time of need. As we see the government, they're going to take care of themselves. They're going to cut costs where they can. Yeah. And if you one of those people that's getting lost in the shuffle, you know what I'm saying? It's great that you have people that can stand up and support and still push you guys forward.
That's right. Give back. Because, a lot of people, like we was talking about, they always have a negative outlook and a negative thing on New Orleans, but they do have some good people out here.
Yes.
And talk about, like, our up-and-coming guests that we have that's doing something in a city about grief awareness. Mm-hmm. And you have people that want to help the community.
That's right.
We have people that want to do that. It's just that they don't get a lot of spotlight. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about her coming on. Her name is Trinette Wilson.
Yes.
And I know they've been seeing us push this flyer.
Right.
And we excited about her coming on today and being a guest with us today.
Right.
This is going to be an amazing show. And they get to see our guy,
Terrick.
Get to see him behind the scenes.
But he gonna step on the couch today for us, y'all. He's a co-host of the Grief Awareness Day.
Yes.
And so, he's a young man that's in the community, pushing for the community, and so we're just happy to be a part of that, a part of people who are out here, fighting for justice, helping, us, our emotional health, our mental health. Yeah. It's a great feeling to be a part of something positive.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I guess we hit all our tea topics.
Yeah.
Oh, one other tea topic before we go into the next segment is that keep Jamie Foxx in their prayers.
Okay.
Because they say he's doing better, but he's still in the hospital. And I wanted to keep that out there for my boy Jamie Foxx, for Wanda. I know. All right. I know. It's supposed to be so giddy, but I worked out today, so I got my giddy on.
That's
right. I got my positive vibe
That's
on.
What's up.
Yeah. So I guess we go tell them
RedLip Talk Podcast.
Mwah.
Spice Divas, Sona's Charm, RedLip Talk, RedLip Talk.
Girl, come sit with us and sip some tea.
Hello, everyone. This day is declared National Still Body Day. People, it is here. It has arrived.
We have 2,500 bottles of this formula that's designed to give you what you need in terms of health, happiness, and healing. People have testimonies already. People have been serviced already, and now we want you to be a part of this blessed experience. Give us a call at 416-5256. Give us a call at 237-4000, and we have a Bible for you. And trust me, this will be the best investment you ever made for your body. You heard it from the truth, the whole truth, Dr. Truth, Dr. Kendra, Baby Truth. Now,
What's up, Noel? It's the homie Bank Bourriche site, here to let everyone know about the second annual Grief Awareness Day. This is a day to honor parents who has lost a child to gun violence. We are asking our local retail vendors to come out, food vendors, and nonprofits to support community economics and healing. This is a worthy cause for our community. Your sponsorship dollars will help us have a successful event. We're going to have great things to do like a car show, food challenges, balloon releases for our families, and we have special guest speakers to come out and support our families. If you would like to make a contribution or become a vendor, please contact Trinette Wilson at 504-231-0950. And remember, this is an event that we all together can support to help the grieving families in our community. We need you, yes you, to come out and support. We'll see you there.
Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon Big Fave Favorite, and Inside the Trenches podcast is back, baby. We back. Y'all make sure y'all check us out for excellent season, and you can check us out on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Big Fave 504. We back at it, baby. We in them trenches.
Spice Divas, Sona's Charm, RedLip Talk, RedLip Talk,
Girl, come sit with us and sip some tea.
I'm blocking it.
Oh,
All right, we back. We back. Welcome back to Red Lip Talk Podcast, episode 15, huh? Yeah. With your girls, Spice Divas Beauty Bar, Spice Diva. Yes. And we have these amazing guests on today. Yes, we have Trinette Wilson.
Yes,
Correct.
Thank you, Queens, yes.
Well, welcome to our podcast. And on the other side, we have T.
Terrick.
Yeah, we call him T. His government name is Terrick Jones.
I'm gonna get you one of them chains.
Yeah, T. Because I didn't just give you that name, huh?
Yeah. You can.
Other people call you T?
Oh, I could be anywhere in the world. OT. I don't know who it is.
Do other people call you T?
No.
No.
No. I think you're the only person that called me T.
Okay.
Trinette be calling me.
Now
T.
you call it. See,
You know
that's a
what I'm
name that's
saying?
coming in. See, I like that.
Yeah, but y'all know what it is already. I got a bunch of names.
You got
Bunch of titles.
Yeah, you got a bunch of titles. Okay, well, let's get into you first, Trinette. Let's talk about what you do as far as I know you have a business with baskets, right? You make gift baskets.
Yeah, pronounce that name.
Yeah,
for
because
me.
I was like, is
La
it
Boucherie? La Boucherie.
In La Bougie? La
It
Bougie?
is not Queen. It is Le Barouche Bar. You got to let that tongue
Le
roll.
Bourriche.
Le Barouche.
Le Bourriche.
Le Barouche.
Mhm.
Let's do that again. Le
Le
Barouche.
Yes.
Le Barouche.
Where did you get that name from?
I know.
It's actually French for the basket bar. I wanted something real cute for the baskets I'm making. Hey, I make baskets. I was like, you know what? Let me. No. And that's what I come up with.
Gotcha.
That's what I come up
That's
with.
cute. I like that.
Yes.
I like
The
that.
basketball. That's it. That's what it means.
That's what it means.
Oh.
That's what it means.
La Barouche. I said it again.
Pow.
I got it.
Every day.
La Barouche.
Yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't found
You
that.
teaching. Yeah. And that's French.
Yeah, that's French.
La
It gotta be.
Barouche.
Yeah,
That's
like,
nice.
you
I
speak
like
a
that
whole other
name.
language when you say that.
So tell us about Le Bourriche.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Bar
like
and
you said,
gifts.
La Barouche.
She got it.
Let that
She
tongue
got
roll.
it. She got it. Well, technically, Le Barouche Bar, I come up with that, well, myself and a little bit of family, in 2018. Just basically turned my hobby into a business.
Okay.
My kids basically said, "Mama, you hustle not hard enough." And I think the next week I took out a loan and went to buying stuff, and there we go. And I'm also a founder and member of LBB Foundation for a Cause. Basically, what all causes matter. I've done everything from supporting different types of cancer. We supported St. Jude, domestic violence, grief awareness, mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Just anything we can put our hands on that the Lord tells us, and I put it in our heart, just go do it, and that's where we are now.
So let's go back to you. You said abbreviation. What's the name of the association that you just
It
said,
is
and what does it mean?
It's LBB Foundation for a Cause. Basically, Labor Rouge Bar Foundation for a Cause. That's what it is. Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I
Yes,
wanted
it
to
is.
say that.
So you say you have kids. How many kids do you have?
I have three.
You have three.
I have
So you're a
three.
mom of
Yes,
three.
I have old children.
Well, that's
Old
beautiful to have
kids.
old children.
They pushed me to support me, like when we both were in college. Mama, what you great you got to do? No, what you got today? And so that we do that. I love it.
That's
Love it, love
beautiful.
it, love it.
That's
Yes.
beautiful that they're there to push you and
They
support
are.
you.
They're so supportive.
And keep
They're so
keep you on your
supportive.
toes.
They do.
That's
do. They keep
awesome.
me on my toes like all day, every day. Yes.
Okay.
Love
Well,
'em.
we happen to have you on to talk about this amazing event that God put in your heart to do. And then I saw that this was your second one. So you did it last year as well. So this is your second annual grief awareness.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that. I know you looking for vendors and stuff. So what place what like we always talk about a why. What
Oh.
placed it in your heart to do this? What's the why that made you want to do this grief awareness?
The why is turning on that TV every day. Morning, noon, evening, in the Treme area, or just killing after killing. I used to love watching the news because that's how you find out everything.
Sorry.
But nowadays, it's sad to even turn the news on, and it was just too much. And then I had a family member, not a street child, and that is how he was taken through gun violence, and that brought our family together a little bit closer. So that made it more dear to my heart. So I was like, and a lot of the parents, they basically say after a couple months or so, people forget about them. So once they forget about them, then, well, of course, we have another murder. We have some more violence. We have some more crime going on.
Whatever's
So
hot on the scene
whatever's
at that
hot
moment.
on the scene. So I was like, you know what? We can do something about this. I figure if enough of these young children see these parents crying, don't just wait till it's your cousin or your uncle or somebody. If I figure if we can start up the biggest support network for the parents, we could come together more than just National Crime Victims Week, or call them. She may not have a sister, the parent that lost a child. She may not have family. Let's call and talk. What you doing, Queen? What you doing today? Even the kings, they have some of the fathers raising kids by themselves. I had two honorees at the last one who were fathers. The mothers weren't there. So that is basically the basis of what I'm trying to do with grief awareness, and then we're going into the third and the fourth. This is going to be yearly. This is going to be yearly because we can stop this. We can stop
What
this.
do you think it would take for us to stop it? Do you think it's community support on some of these single moms, single family homes? What do you think that would stop some of the violence? Because like this recent violent thing that happened was the girl who got shot 10 times in the middle of the street. On Orleans, and she was with a baby. She
In
was
a
with
car.
A baby in a car.
In a car.
The 2-year-old baby was with her, and 2 years before that, her sister died from gun violence the same way. I mean, people say they had underlying things going on, but the fact that they killed her in front of her child.
In the backseat.
I don't care what she did or what was going
In the
on,
backseat.
but the fact that you killed her in front of her child. Now the 2-year-old may not remember, but it's just the point of it, Sona, is the point of it. You think about your baby, 2 years old.
I do think about that all the time. I'm a single parent. A lot of times I'm on the move. I'm an entrepreneur. I have to be places. I'm moving at all times of the day and night. I think about my son, my 16-year-old son. He works a job. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's waiting for me to pick him up. It's something that is on your mind all the time. I got to look around my surroundings. I have to teach my children how to protect themselves, who to talk to, who not to talk to, who can I entertain in my company. company, who I can't entertain in my company, because all of those things matter. You never know who's involved with what. Who's out to get who.
Right, right,
And
right.
it's just something in our community. We really need to get back to loving each other. You know what I'm saying? Neighboring, parenting each other's
Neighborhood
kids.
watch.
You know what I'm
Bring
saying?
it back to
We
the
have to
neighborhood
go
watch,
back. People don't want to
yes.
say, "Oh, that's old timey," but look, it worked. It helped us. That's what communities do. They look out for each other, minority communities. They make sure they are taken care of and secured. We are now like, oh, I got me together, you get you together. And I mean, it's unfortunate and it's devastating us in so many factors.
It's definitely devastating us as a culture as
Yeah.
well. As a culture as well. Yeah, it really is. So you think some community support will stop us being together, not just talking about it, but walking about it?
Walking, talking. I mean, I'm gonna say of age. So when I was coming up, there was a community support. Now is she's so, she's so into my business. She's so this. She has right to be into the business. She don't want to see that next child gone. I mean, we used to not spank them or paddle them or whatever, but come here. Where you going, baby? Where your mama? Let's do that. What's the problem? I'm not gonna discipline your child to where he's bruised or hurt or he or she or anything. I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned. And if you want to, shout out why you did this to my child, shout out. Let's stop this. Let's stop. It can be stopped. It can be stopped.
Yeah.
Let's talk about grief, like the phases of grief. So I heard there are 5 phases of grief. Which one do you think the parents have the hardest time to deal with?
That's a good question.
5 are they? Which one?
So
you
I know
think?
one is anger,
Well, yeah.
one is depression.
Oh, depression.
Of course, there's sadness, denial, and one more I can't think of.
She wants to know like the worst stage of it.
She said, "What do you think the parents deal with the most?" I would say depression. I don't know. I never experienced it, but
It's sort of depression because when I have talked to the parents and 2-3 months pass and that child's not here and it's another child gone, they still dealing with anger. Because sometimes they're not found. They just on to the next case. So the parent feel that should be that's not enough attention on my child's case. You know what I'm saying? So they still dealing with the anger and they still dealing with the depression of the child not being there. Like me, my kids, we're all goofy together, so I know how I would react, if my child was in it would be devastating. So honestly, I think all the phases still attaches to them even years later. That's how I feel after speaking with the parents, after seeing what I see. Terrick, how do you feel?
yeah. Let's bring you in this
Wow,
conversation,
that was a
T.
good question.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but as I'm sitting here listening to you talk about it, I think acceptance because
That's the
because
last one I didn't
I
name.
think that underlines everything. When you have to instantly accept something like that,
Yeah.
it's different because it's the same old story. And I think I'm sitting here thinking about what are some of the quickest ways someone can die instantly. Like when you leave from out your house, you never knew you was going to see that person. It's different from being sick. It's different from illness will kill you. You know what I'm saying? But that instant, this person is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's you got to accept that.
Yeah, because in your
And-
mind, you have to
you
think
have
like,
to process it.
Yeah.
You have to process. You're never going to interact with this person again. And
it was unexpectedly.
yeah, we deal with the
Yeah.
bullet part of it. See, it ain't a car wreck. It's not a plane crash. It's not a freak accident. You know what I'm saying? It's the violence of accepting that your loved one and embarrassment. We got to look at the
Yeah.
embarrassment part. Like
Ooh.
we should be doing this every month, celebrating these families because the community, because it's sort of like we embarrassed to accept as a community accept that. First, we got to accept what's going on in order to, fix it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all of us, if we look at it and we say, if that family member or that person from the community got killed, you know what I'm saying? We all need to come together for these families. You know what I'm I'm saying?
Right.
We all have to accept the fact that that person's not going to be here anymore, and we kind of tend to mind our own business. You know what I'm saying? And it's happening.
I don't want to get involved. I'm gonna close up. I'm gonna blind my
eyes.
eyes.
Give a hug or whatever, but we got to monetarily get involved with the killing in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Like the best course of action to me is money. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Where would the money? Where would it go?
Talk about resources.
Talking about the families.
Oh, to the
families.
Yeah,
to the families.
First thing we say in our community is, did they have insurance? And the fish fries, and all that. We got to change the narrative. But when somebody get killed, we need to step up with our money. You know what I'm saying? And be like, automatic. It's like this automatic thing, like going to church on Easter.
Because if they did have insurance, sometimes the insurance is not enough to carry the family.
Yeah.
Even with we talk about gun violence with young kids and this and that. But what if in our community, if a person passes from an illness, the insurance might not be good enough or whatever. If you have a certain heart problem or something like that, an insurance company is not going to write your policy. Sometimes, if it's too late in the game, if you have a mental illness, the insurance company will not. Certain companies will not write you a policy. So that's the type of stuff. So if you have a mental illness and something happens, and your loved one is stuck with losing that income, and as well as provide you
the grief part of all of it is the most crucial part, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no timeline on grief, and you can't tell somebody how to grieve.
Right.
So that's really impactful. But again, I think it's the grief part really impacts you more when it's so sudden. You know what I'm saying? And as a parent, but that's the worst. That's my worst nightmare.
Me too.
Having to accept something like that.
Lord. Not just like out in the world when Brock goes. Even like I mentioned that before on the show, I pray over my son, my 14-year-old. I pray over him. Even in the morning, every morning, God, put your protection over me. And I know God heard me the day before, but God, I need to come to you again and tell you to protect him and have him pray for himself. Because he was even talking about that 5-year-old who they cut up. And I didn't even realize that she went to a school right across from Brock's school. So that's tragedy.
Absolutely.
Unexpected tragedy. Somebody to bring your child to you in a bucket in front your door. In a community that we wouldn't even think would have that.
I think with that situation right there, like that's a isolated situation that rarely happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, something like that. I think as soon as I saw that report, I said, well, that's going nationwide.
Yeah.
That's because that never really happens every day in America. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you looking at something like that, that's a story they're gonna put on the unsolved mysteries type stories. You're gonna see that story again. Somebody gonna tell that story again. Because
if they don't make a movie about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how like
demonic.
Yeah, when we dealing with murder, it's different forms of it. It's not one way to murder somebody. And that's why this stuff is really important. You know what I'm saying? Because if we can take away the bullet aspect of someone being murdered in our community, we'll have a whole lot less people. Now, some people are gonna still die. Like kids are gonna drown. Kids are gonna die in car accidents. Kids are gonna fall off of 4-wheelers and die. Like that's not every day though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But like a hand, somebody taking it really like
every day we looking at the news, somebody is
Somebody
killing a
killing
child. Every day.
When we were small, we used to choke ourselves. Like you ever did that? You hold your breath and they pass out. You ever did that? We did that. But you ever heard
my
it?
mama would beat me until I pass out. If I did that, she would beat me and I would pass out if I did that.
It was like, but any one of us could have never woke up. And it would have been a tragic accident. You know what I'm saying? So the law was over us when we was doing that. I would never advise nobody to do that as a game. But we saw that as a challenge on social media, the choke challenge or whatever. But it was holding their breath for a certain amount of time and somebody press on their chest. They'll pass out. Yeah. So, but those are freak accidents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Someone maliciously, intentionally taking a life like that child. You know what I'm saying?
2 and 3 times a day.
You know, or somebody that killed 2 or 3 people in our neighborhood, and he's still out here.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
we got some things we need to deal with. Like I said earlier, we got to start we got to start taking care of each other. You feel me? We got to start acknowledging the families and say, look, don't be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, we as a community have to do something about this. We can't keep looking at the politicians. We can't keep blaming education. We can't keep, saying, we can't keep cutting ourselves short and pointing the finger in other places. Everybody didn't have an education 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So if everybody didn't have an education 50 years ago, 60
How did they
years
carry
ago,
on?
how did we get here?
Right.
Yeah. I know. Like for me, that I pray that it never hits that close to me. And the thing is, like, I come from a family from the streets. My mom was heavy in the street. She was in the street at 12. My dad. They had me at 15. My mom and them had me at 15 and 16. My dad was in the streets. You know what I mean? My dad would go in the store and take the whole store. And I'm just being transparent. Like, I came from the hood. I came from the Desire Project. And I have cousins. And I thank God right now, I have male cousins that is from the hood. Like, if I have to, I could call them up in a minute. You know what I mean? Like, from the Florida Project, from the Desire Project, around your age, T, probably about your age. But I thank God that we never, as a family, we buried the older people like their parents before them. None of their parents had to bury them.
Kids at a rapid rate. Like
On my dad's side, this is on my dad's side. And I'm shocked of that. But I got an aunt who says every day she prays for all those boys. She hate for them to even come to New Orleans because they in another state. But she said when they come here, like for a funeral or whatever, her nerves get bad. And it's my aunt. She pray for all her nieces and nephews every day. And she said, when I leave, you gonna be the one that have to pray for everybody when I'm not here. Because I pray that we never have to experience that. Because they got close to one of them.
Yeah. And we gotta pray. We got to pray for our entire community, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying, listen, like I said, Spice, your son, I look at him and I see my son. Remember when I told him that when he came, I said, boy, so if anything was to happen to him, that impacts me. It has to impact me as well.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then we being desensitized.
Yeah.
How can we?
That's a good one.
We so used to things happening that we forget how we supposed to feel emotionally. How are we supposed to help these people grieve through their process? That's why we forgetting about them. We forgetting about them because we're emotionally attached.
My son,
True.
These are things we don't want happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say we got to pay for this monetarily. It's gonna take us 15 years of doing this, honoring our dead on a most consistent basis to show the children. We at war. We got to show the kids that this ain't what we supposed to be doing, so they can't. We got to break a generational cycle.
Please.
A generational curse.
Please.
I wanted to get back to that because I know y'all having like a balloon release ceremony.
Yes.
How impactful is it to remember, your loved ones who you've lost, as far as the grief process?
Me, myself, I think it's impactful because actually that's supposed to be a celebration. I mean, we're in a world that, look what happened today. Oh, look what they did today. So it's supposed to be a celebration regardless. But being impactful on that, that's truly, truly, truly important. It has to be important. Yeah. It has to be. And like I said, you were talking about the guns versus this death or that death or whatever, but when you wake up, when you turn over, when you walk in your door, when you cut the car on, breaking news. That is just so hurtful to hear. We had two children get attempted robbery, so they got shot at. They're teenagers. That could have been another parent getting honored. Why? When we were coming up, y'all see when them street lights come on?
You got to come inside.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We at the door. Mom, I'm right here. I'm right here.
And then I don't know if that's like y'all heard
yeah.
of like the desensitizing, and I had to check myself because I don't like watching the news, and when I see it I be like, well, what they was into, and
I
sometimes
do that too.
I know I do that. I'm not lying. I do that. Like, what happened?
But
What they
like
was,
with my little
but they
cousin,
don't
it
have to
was
be the nothing.
It was nothing. They were coming home from a party from college. It was nothing.
I mean,
he
that's
was
almost
across the street with his
like the
girlfriend.
same story with the little boy who was knocked on the wrong door,
Oh,
and the man, he shot him, but then you turned over and shot him in the head. A young boy, he was a musician, plays the saxophone, black kid, picking up his siblings, supposed to be picking up his
going
siblings,
somewhere in life.
knocked at the wrong door, and you, a grown man, see this very little. I mean, even if though he was a teenager, he was not big in stature.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Non-threatening
He looked
kid,
non-threatening. He
and you
looked
shoot him
non-threatening.
down like a dog in daylight in front of your house.
People are afraid. That's a clear indication that people are afraid of the African American male. They
Are
are
they?
terrified because they know.
Or is that an excuse?
They no, it's not. I think when people
I don't
see
think they're
African
afraid.
Americans and
I think it's both.
they feel vulnerable and they attack us like they do, it's because we African Americans. If there was a little white boy, he
But
wouldn't
he
have
was
done
the
that.
one
So
that was vulnerable.
so
He had no
they-
weapons. There was
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, and when I say that, I mean in a way
threatening
to
about
I'm not making any excuses for this gentleman,
Mhm.
because that's the definition of racism. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the definition of racism when you see somebody and you automatically judge them, no matter how your judgment may work. You know what I'm saying?
Is it racism or is it value? Because, like you said, if that would have been a kid of another,
They value their
orientation.
lives more than they value ours.
okay, so
Absolutely.
it's the value of the person. If you don't think nothing about this person, this thing, you're gonna kill it, get rid of it. Who cares? Who's
Yeah.
gonna miss it?
Exactly.
Their family gonna miss him. He's a person.
Exactly.
Do they think of us as
No,
human beings?
they don't.
But this
So
too.
I don't think it's afraid. I think it's just to them, we don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
So who
And that's
cares
not
if
speaking-
another one is
I
off the
can't
street?
say in general that
Yeah, I'm
all
about to say all
we
white
not-
people.
We're not
Caucasians.
talking, we're not
Yeah.
talking
Because
about
that's
in general,
not- that-
and we're
that's
not
not
talking about not
everybody.
just Caucasians.
Yeah.
Even
So,
it's
you know-
the system too as well. Like again, had that would have been a white man, I mean a black man done that to a white person,
Oh, he would
he
be
would've
in
never- he would've been in
handcuffs, dragged
prison.
from his
Right.
house.
You know what I'm saying? He would
Yeah.
have been in
Been no
prison
going
that day.
home and then
They
coming
would have said
back and-
they wouldn't have waited with the we gonna try to investigate, then charge. They would have charged you right there on the spot, then investigate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that
And then I say this too, and I'm gonna let you talk next, Trinette. But like I say this too, like racism, we've been going through this for the like centuries and stuff like that. But as a community, as a culture, like you said, that people are afraid of the African American male because of what the African American males are doing to each other. We are killing each
I
other.
like
We
that.
are killing each other, and that's what needs to stop. We are killing each other. We are
have been
devaluing
killing each other for
each
25
other.
years, 25
Yes.
It's more
25,
than
30
that.
years
Why?
now.
It's more
Right.
than that. It goes
It's-
back
it's
to
implemented-
The man,
it's
the
imp-
black man, period.
Black man, period.
It's
and whole.
implemented
Yeah.
into us to devalue ourselves.
know.
And so that's what we
Even as
put
women,
what we
Sona, as
put
women.
out there in the media and propaganda, the devaluation of black people. And so then other cultures, and we don't think about ourselves and we say black people, let's just talk about American black people. We're not going to talk about other people in other countries because their value even to other people is different. And even they look at us on a subpar level. So, we have to look at ourselves in America and say, what do we put out there that people are looking at and stereotyping or visualizing
Yeah.
us as?
Devaluing us, yeah.
Mhm.
Devaluing us,
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw a video this morning. It was so powerful from Attorney Crump. He put a black she was maybe 8, and just put her in the middle of like the biggest street in New York. And she stood there. Police there. People passed and passed and passed. They removed her, put the same age little white girl there. Everyone stopped. Baby, you okay? Where's your mom? No one stopped.
Wow.
No one.
Yeah.
When
was
that was 6 o'clock this morning, I saw that and I just cried.
Yeah.
It's like,
How
that's-
old? How old?
They were 8-year-old little girls. So
Wow.
they put the
The
black young
girl.
lady up
Mhm.
there first.
Yeah.
People passed. They looked at her. Oh, look at that, and kept walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
White little girl, baby, you okay?
So no African American,
Not even
no African American
stopped. Not
people.
stopped for. Not
So that goes
checked
back
on
to
her,
the
not-
Yeah.
devaluing. We
Oh.
even devalue ourselves.
I mean, I had
Right.
my own experience very recently in a parking lot, a grocery store, and my car wouldn't start. So I'm out there, hood open, waiting. Somebody gonna come by. When I was asking for, jumper cables and stuff. Two men came to my rescue. None of them was black.
Wow.
So sad.
I
Wow.
mean, it's hard for
Wow.
me.
Outside of my friend husband,
It could be a
who she
flip-flop.
sent to me, but yeah, the people who stop. Are you okay? Are you?
Yeah, it's hard for me to
Crazy.
pass up a person that need help or it look like they in distress. You know what I'm saying? So I could recall personally me helping a few people. I done changed tires out here. I done jumped off batteries. You know what I'm saying? I done pushed cars off the street. It's just the way I was. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like. I just follow suit. I mean, I see a woman broken down in the middle of the street. I'm not about to, I jump out the whip. And when somebody see me come out and run into the car, I already know in my mind somebody else gonna come. But it's hard to believe people, but it's true, will pass up a woman in distress. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. And for me, it's like my mind don't let me think that away. That my mind don't let me think that away. But the reality is that the usism really exists. I like the usism is something that we've been saying for years now. They got racism and usism.
You're right.
And again, we have to acknowledge our falling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Last year in the 504, there was 280 last year in New Orleans. So in 504, if you include Jefferson Parish, you know what I'm saying? So out of all of those people who was actually classified as a murder or a homicide or something, we have a large portion of that. Let's say roughly 70% of that was us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Doing what we do, what we allow to be happy, what we tolerate, and the kids are the only thing that we have. You know what I'm saying? So
To help to start with them first.
we have to
Yeah.
Starts at home.
break the cycle, and the best way to break a cycle with children is through the community, because you have the household and then what they see in the community.
Like that.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned way more from what I picked up outside than what I did inside.
Wow.
I learned now I got values that's carrying me today that I learned
Inside.
inside.
But
But for
picked
what
up
I learned
how to maneuver
outside,
on the outside.
I learned how to survive outside.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? So with the kids coming outside, growing up and seeing, is that's what they're gonna be a product of that.
Yeah.
So we all grew up in the 504. We got a bunch of families that really need to be, talked to
Yeah.
with the community. I don't know who you is, but if you at the Grief Awareness Day and they honoring you, I need to give you a hug.
Yeah.
I need to let you know who I am. I might know somebody who knows somebody. You know what I'm saying?
That can help you.
That's why I say we need to do it every month. And it's
Yeah.
going to take the politicians. It's going to take everybody to understand that they got to bring their children.
Everybody has
Yeah.
a TV.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, bring your children outside. Bring them over here. It's going to be protection. It's going to be fun. But when they see them balloons go up in the air,
That's gonna put a memory in their
That's what
head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? When we stop
All the
everything and say
people.
it's time
Yeah.
to release these balloons, that is a memory to them.
Yeah.
That's how we break it. We get in their minds. You know what I'm saying? That's a memory.
I like.
So when they become young men and women, and they going to get tired of having to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? But again, right now, so if anybody, we need as much money as we can get, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. If $20, we got over 300,000 African Americans in the 504.
Oh.
If every last single one of them who was able-bodied gave $1, that at least amount to 50,000. $1.
Yeah.
One, if it's 300,000 African Americans in the 504,
Yes.
if each and every last one of you gave 50 cents, we can make events like this possible. You know what I'm saying? And put that into a fund and trust people to run it. And we can come out there. It's going to be bouncies. It's going to be little mini water park. But see, when the balloons go up and we got to talk about that 14-year-old, that 13-year-old, this 21-year-old, these people, these families, take a real good look at them. It's not to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's to accept the love. But as a community, white, black, Chinese, Hispanic, Arabic,
Because we in mixed communities now.
Yes, we are.
we all diverse, you know what I'm
We in
saying?
mixed communities now.
Bring your children.
And I feel like, the idle mind is a devil's workshop. We don't spend enough time sometimes with our kids because we're too busy trying to grind and get things done and stuff like that. So that idle mind is a devil's workshop. As a community, sometimes we fail to do that. And most of the time, y'all, and I don't know if that probably be my perspective on things, but as a single mother, most of the time you see African American homes, you rarely you could pick out the homes that is not I'm not going to say it's a broken family home because a person doesn't have a father in it, but it's not the overall traditional home of having the father, the mom, a two-parent household. And sometimes, like in our culture, we really don't see that often.
No, we don't.
We don't see that often. You don't see in our community or in our culture or in our ethnicity, you don't see them saying, let's keep this family together. Let's keep this marriage together. Let's keep this family together.
Right.
On the sake of this child. Let's try to keep it together.
Absolutely. That's our only option. If you look at any group of people in this world, it applies to every group. Your future is the youth.
Every day.
Every single group.
Every day.
Your future is the youth. So when we talk about how do we solve these problems, I hear a lot of people throw a lot of solutions out. There's some of them are impactful. Some of them are like, does it apply? Some of them like, that's instant gratification. But the truth is, you got to break the generational thing. It costs money. Like we talked about me and my Uncle Donald last night. We talked about at my little niece's birthday party. Happy birthday, Dejon. She just turned 18 years old. That she's the oldest off my mother's branch as a grandchild, and I'm looking at her. She's a very beautiful, attractive young lady. I'm looking at her and I'm saying to myself, as an uncle, how can when people come into this family in my sister's house, they respect us as a family on the strength of my niece? Because see, when a young man walks in the house and there's authority there, you know what I'm saying? He know when it comes down to her,
I'm not gonna play with her.
He'll get out of her life before he carry on. And when they're young, now when you 30 years old, nobody care who your uncle is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when you a 17, 16, 18-year-old young man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you dating a young woman, when she bring you around, it's a big deal when these young people start linking up and coming around each other's families. Yes. What message is going to be sent to this young man? When you come around her family, this is her family. Like, this is a structure here. So this is what's going to be expected from you.
Right.
You know, you get her pregnant, psychologically, you know she got a family to help her. You have a family that's going to help you. You know what I'm saying? But because when we talk about men not being in the households, what are young men meeting when they dating these young ladies? That's how we break that cycle of a young man not being in the household. When he walks into a young woman's house, what does he see? Who does he see? What is the expectation? And we got to mold that into these primes You know what I'm saying? And all
Do
these
the ex-
gatherings we do.
Do the expectations start, you say when you come into the house with the families, or should it start with her?
It comes through
Because-
observation.
Because usually, people know what to expect when they come to you because they see you how you are,
It comes from-
how your family is
Yes.
with you
Like-
on the
Yes.
outside.
Right.
So before I even present myself to be like, I'm going to be somebody that's going to pursue you,
Mhm.
I'm going to get my ducks in a row before I even confront you in that way, because I see how your family is, or how you are, how you carry yourself.
Mhm.
So I think if we wait till they get ready to introduce them to us, we too late.
We probably are too late to the party. We probably are a little bit too
We
late.
too
But
late.
it had what I meant about that is I was definitely you're right, Sona. I was a young kid. I went to a lot of primes. There was some girls I didn't have to go in their house. You know what I'm saying?
He mean a male presence.
I'm speaking from a male's
He
perspective.
mean a male presence. You see
You
that
know,
strong male at home.
Exactly. There was some girls that but when boys came to my house, there was a certain type of expectation that I seen that was being displayed. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to my female cousins. So it's like, again, it's all psychological. And the best way somebody could be prepared for something is mentally. So even if I do have devious plans and stuff, I know I got to get myself together when I approach this girl's home.
Because she's structured.
I got to mentally, yes ma'am, yes sir. That's you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So
Yeah.
it's all psychological. It's all what we make our young men do psychologically when it come down to our females. That's gonna make sure in the next 20 years that the fathers are in the home. Because we can't say it's gonna happen overnight. We gotta make sure that these 5-6-year-old little boys coming through the world right now, that they get that understanding. Because when they 5-6 years old, in 10 years, they're gonna be 15, 16, and like you said, it's gonna be too late.
I'm laughing
It's gonna be
because
too late.
my daughter have this little toy that one of my friends bought for her. So they got little kids in our complex, and so, but it's like 2 little girls and like 3 little boys. So this one little boy though, he's very fond of her, and he's a little older than her, but I mean they still little kids. But he was dancing with her with the toy, like dancing with her. The toy was playing, he was dancing with her. And I was standing there, because I got to come outside. I got to watch what's going on here, because I'm looking at her, how she's interacting with him and how he's interacting with her. And I'm saying, you know what, girl, you're going to have to get it together, because this is starting at 2 years old. And these little boys need to know, don't play with your daughter. Like, she went and got the ball. Oh, no, you asked to play with her ball, you go get that ball from over there. I mean, it's things like that,
Yes.
like that make you revert back to, I need to start showing her, like not just telling her, but letting her see things. This is what needs to be done. This
Absolutely.
is how I have to act. These are the things that I should require, even with a toy. Because that's where it is.
Absolutely.
I don't want to wait till she 10, 12, 13 years old, because you missed it after that. The
Yeah.
friends then got into their head,
Yeah.
the TV, the radio, the music, everything. It's too late after that.
Yeah, having a while y'all on this topic, having a 22-year-old, having Brianna, she's a senior in college and stuff, and shouts out to you, Bree. As a parent, her being in a home, I try to keep an open line of communication, because you don't want your kids to go to just their friends and get opinions on
Right.
dates and guys. It's been 3:00 in the morning. Me and Bree just sit on the phone. You up, ma? And we'll sit on the phone 3 in the morning. Too.
Yeah.
You wake me up out my sleep, and guess what? We talking about our stuff. 3 in the
Absolutely.
morning. You keep that kind of dynamics. She's a girl. She's 22, and she only had like 2 strong boyfriends in her life.
Mhm.
And I think that comes from, because she even mentioned one time, I don't bring a lot of people over here and stuff like that. So if this is my mama's standard, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna bring all these people around my mama and my family,
Right.
because this is my mom's standard. Her dad, even though I consider myself as a single parent, but her dad is real active in their life, right? So when she bring the 2 guys she brought around, her dad like, I don't need to be that cool with nobody unless he married.
That's right.
I like that.
And I ain't understand it at the time because like, boy, you tripping? Why you? Nah. If that's not her husband, I'll go out to we got this there or whatever. But I don't need to get cool chummy with no.
That's right.
That's the standard he's setting. Like you do something to my daughter, I'm not even talking to you really. I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
As a dad, I'm coming,
Absolutely.
and I think half of them probably like, oh man, we scared of him because that's the tone he sets.
She has a father that's gonna defend her. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? At
Yeah.
the end of the day, psychologically, you know, if you do her something, her father you're gonna have to answer to him one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So psychologically, you know what I'm saying? So it's all there. It's all in your head. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start looking at that part. You know,
I
go
just
ahead.
want as a community before
Yeah.
I know we're gonna be ending soon. As a community, if we could just do something to help our community, not just talk about it, but walk about it. And one of the ways is the grief awareness. One of the ways is structurally, I feel like as a black woman, sometimes us as black women, we are devalued. I'm gonna say that again. I feel like we sometimes are the most devalued humans on this earth.
Absolutely.
I say that all. I'm sorry. I say that all the
yeah,
time though,
yeah.
because I mean, you got the hierarchy. Is that how you say that? So you got the man and the woman. The woman is always, on the bottom when you talk about value to a man. That's why we having all these fights with wages and rights and all kind of things, right? But then, so let's go down race. We know who at the top of the food chain, and then where are we? So if you a black woman, then where are you in that food chain? And even though we are the highest earners, most educated, but yet when it comes to actual dollar value, we are worth less than any other woman in the world.
When you said the value, we are the most educated. Most of the time, we get the education so we can be valued.
Yeah.
We get the education so we can be valued, not just by another culture or another corporate or whatever it is. We get the education so we can be valued by, most of the time, the black man. Most of the time, most things that women do to this day, and I'm just not speaking, I'm not saying majority, but most of the time, what they do is to become validated. Most women don't want to be a single black woman raising their kids. Most women want a husband. Even at 40 and 30, you still have men that don't know the value and say, I want to marry that woman because I know that's good stock. I want to marry that woman because I know if I marry her, I'm going to help my children that I probably had from a previous relationship because I know that's good stock. If I marry her, I see the kids that she raising. I know they're good stock. And the reason I'm saying it, because this came from my actual pastor. My pastor told me, Chriselle, your kid, I didn't even realize your kids, because I don't go to church and be all involved. I go get my word and I leave. I didn't even realize your kids, the way you raising them, the value. And the reason he only knew that because Brock went through a new members class. But I'm saying, Sona, like, you got a good kid, you got a good daughter. Why don't you want to make
agree
me
with you, and that goes from those morals and those values and those standards that we are not or have not set in our homes. There's a generation where we were so busy out here getting education, getting money, being famous, doing things, that we detached ourselves from the things that are most important.
Tradition.
But also, I mean, something that stems, it had having a domino effect. Men were taken away, stripped away, when we was brought here as slaves. They used them as I don't know what you want to call them, but like a horse that you take around and they just make babies with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Livestock. So all we have done is kind of like had a domino effect. We had an era where, people were like, we're going to be a family. We're going to stand in our community. Men building their homes by hand because I want my family to be in a house. You know what I'm saying? We want to own land. But once again, we lost those values. So now what we are experiencing now with the violence on our kids, whether it be from outside source or within our own community, is the domino effect of the values and the morals that we have lost as a people. And we have to get back to that. We have to get back to loving each other and not tearing each other down. We have to
Yes.
get back to not being crabs in a bucket.
Bucket.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you up here and this person down here, you
Yeah.
grab them kicking, screaming, fighting because somebody had to do that for you.
That's and when when Queen
right.
Trinette brung this across, made it her business to let me know what was happening. That's one of the. I didn't hesitate to get involved in it. The timing was perfect.
Yeah.
I saw so many benefits on like what you just spoke on, economics, group healing, that money being in our community. See, they got vendors. We want vendors to come out. You know what I'm saying? Make money, spend money with these people. So support these parents. A lot of this money is spending back in the same circle. That's why I jumped into this event. Real quick, because I'm like, that's one of those events where the money just keep going in one circle. We need that. When you were speaking on it, and it just dawned on me, and I keep having to keep remind myself sometimes. It's as simple as understanding that when it come down to, let's just call it man, right? When it come down to an oppressed man being oppressed for the amount of time that you were oppressed for, it's going to take about 200 years. You know what I'm saying? For you to really have a top-notch quality of life. I don't care. You go all the way back in the time. We've been oppressed for 400 years as a black man in America. They freed the slaves, and check this out. They freed the slaves in 1983. That's from 1983 to 1963. 100 years was 1963 was Civil Rights Act. We are closer to our 200-year anniversary of being free in this country than we are further away from it. Again, it takes 200 years for an oppressed man. Now, if you see the progress,
You said 1963 or
1863,
18.
the slaves was free.
Yeah.
In 1963, they had the Civil Rights Act. That was 100 years. We are approaching 2063 rapidly.
Yeah.
We need to get ready to celebrate our freedom and understand that it's taken us, we've gotten to this point. The only thing that's really stopping us right now is us, because even the system they put against us, we have slowly but surely are tearing those walls down.
Yes, we are.
We definitely are.
We
but,
definitely
but
are.
it takes conversations like this. We have to have accountability with each other.
Exactly.
We have to have acceptance that this is what's happening. Whether it's happening everywhere or here, it's happening, and you only need this much for it to affect a whole thing.
Yeah.
So you got to shut it out from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
But it takes us to be able to have these tight, hard conversations with each other, because you got to understand what I'm dealing with, just like I got to understand what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And a man and a woman, we have to be congruent with each other.
Yeah.
In our communities, in our homes.
And what America wants is, at this point, they want to have, because if we talking about 1963, the 200-year anniversary, we had 2023.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 33, 43, 53, 40 more years. If Lord see it fit for all of us to be sitting here
We'll be here.
in our old senior age. We going to be here, right?
47.
Everything
I'll be
we do
87.
now, we are producing the byproduct for 2063.
Right.
Everything we do at this moment, from the 20s, is going to impact who's ever in 1963. Because it takes 20 years to get these structures going.
But what we're going to need is for all the officials who don't just use the word support and don't be about it. Get your tail out in that neighborhood. Come grab somebody's hand. Come on, let's go walk. Really do it, because I went to a balloon release Friday night with the NOPD, and a lot of people used that word and used it highly.
Support. I support the community.
Because they want them votes.
No, but we're not about to talk about it. We're going to need everybody who has a platform, all the officials, elected officials, everyone support. Don't just use the word, For what is it? Voting time, election time.
Whole time.
No, we're gonna
Coming
do
to
more
the
than
churches
this.
then.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we holding them accountable now.
We holding them
You can't
accountable.
just show up with a face and say you a part of this community if you're
Right.
not
Be a part
actually
of the
active
rhythm
and in
the
this
blues.
community.
Be a part of the
That's
rhythm
right.
and the blues. Not don't
Right.
pick a side.
Right.
We're not doing that.
I think too, if you said hold the politicians. I can remember when Dr. Jones said about holding a church the church
Ooh,
community
that's
accountable
right.
as
Back in the
well.
day.
I mean,
Yes.
back in the day, that was our strength.
That's back
You
in
know,
the
that was
day.
our. He said the churches, the salons, the beauty shops, and everything else. Hold everybody accountable, and maybe that can get our
And not
community
just
back
wait
where
until
it
their
is.
family member lose a life and then you wanna. No, no.
And technically, if you seeing this, we could raise $5,000 from this conversation if you just looked at all of the churches from Avondale to Harvey Canal. You know what I'm saying? That's about a good dozen churches to almost, a dozen and a half churches that can probably make a $500 contribution.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, like it hit my mind just now. So, what do you guys need to
Right.
make this event, the second annual
The
Grief
Awareness
Awareness
Day.
Day? What do exactly right now?
The
What do y'all
the
need? If
final
somebody
push is
wanted
the
to
security of the families, right? You know what I'm saying? So we've been heavily relying on vendors, but now, like I was telling, really turn our insights to some of the donors, and hopefully somebody will bless this situation. And because it's just securing everything's been secure. Entertainment, you know what I'm saying? We got the vendors market for the last minute people who want to make a decision to come on out. Come on out. There's a, you know what I'm saying? What the New Orleans Talk Network is doing, we're putting together a panel discussion from everybody who's coming out. We're going to try to sit down and have a quick little discussion about solutions in the community and stuff like that. But we heavily leaning on donors so that we can secure the last little items for these families, you know what I'm saying? And all send what we need to send to families, because this is something people are dealing with, you know what I'm saying? I had a family member that I actually come out, and it was like, we appreciate the offer, but, we're not going to be able to make it. We're not ready to do that, you know what I'm saying? So, that's something, a message that a lot of families been echoing, you know what I'm saying? I really don't know if I want to do that. So we trying to make it the norm, you know what I'm saying?
Because I don't think I don't think they probably dealing with the hurt, the
It's
unexpected.
embarrassing. It's
the
embarrassing.
grief.
You got to
Yeah.
remind me that I lost my child. And it's like it's a shadow casted over you. It's a cloud casted over you, I meant to say. When you lose a child to gun violence, whether it's no easy way of living with that. And now everyone else is running around with their families and their kids, and you feel like you're a part of this club. It's not an elite club. It's not a club nobody wants to be in. The parent that lost a child club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So it's hurting. People are hurting. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's called the Grief Awareness Day, because we want to bring awareness to the families who are too much in pain to come out. If I lose a child, I'll be embarrassed deep down inside, because I'm going to blame myself. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, everybody, what did I do wrong? So it's tough for people to agree to come out and do these things. But we still want to acknowledge them by sending them the gift baskets to their homes, letting them know here are some of the resources that's available, and having a conversation publicly. It's a platform for that.
What are some of the resources that's available to them for those who don't know who to reach out to or where to reach out? Like, they trying to get through the confusion. What's next for them after?
I think we had a
incident
flyer, but I
happens
didn't
like
really.
that?
My fault, y'all. The speakers, the speaker that's coming out, they specialize in this, right? They're gonna have the information available. These people, they do this. You know what I'm saying? They are chaplains of our community, and that's the whole reason for having them come out, so that we know there's people out there that deal with grieving families and stuff like that. There's different resources. I think a lot of families, if I was to lose a child, and knowing what anxiety and depression really means, it probably should be mandatory, an unwritten rule in our community, that we get counseling.
Right. I was gonna ask
You know what I'm saying?
About counseling.
So we
I
got to,
just said
yeah,
That turns into an avenue of mental illness and other things. So yeah.
absolutely. I think it ought to be like, but the community, we need to make these, like, we have a no snitching policy. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how we adopted it. Now we carry it like it's some type of medal of honor. We need to have, listen, They can predict how many kids are going to kill themselves in the next 10 years. They're going to average this out, right? That's why they building prisons. They're preparing for because they're saying right now second graders can't read. That's right. So the numbers don't lie. The second graders can't read. So these people are preparing for the next 15 to 20 years. All these second graders are going to prison. Straight up. So if they can predict how many kids are going to kill themselves, we need to start predicting too. If it's inevitable, then we need to get prepared for the inevitable to start supporting these families. Straight up, I mean, and that's the need to be the narrative that I'm speaking on, because if these people could take empirical data and tell you, okay, according to this data, we need to build more prisons. Well, according to that data, we need more community chaplains. We need more healers. We're gonna need to start being accustomed to getting together.
Stronger together.
Because we about to lose a whole lot more if we're going to keep sitting here trying to find solutions. The solution is the next 15 years. You know, so that's how we need to go about handling our business.
Yeah. So
right.
I mean, I'm happy you guys came on. I mean, it's a topic that, people don't like to talk about.
Right.
And you have to talk about the difficult things. You have to talk about what's actually going on, in the community and in this world. I'm good. I'm positive Patty. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always positive. But I'm afraid, like I was saying, for my son growing up in this type of environment and what's going on right now. And I never want to deal with that, and God, please, I never ever in my life want to deal with that kind of pain.
Never ever.
And it's a thought in my head when he go places.
You
I'm
have
like,
a daughter in college, and my son is
Jesus.
getting ready to approach
Yeah.
that level. I mean, you hear horror stories of kids, like you said, minding their own business, and
Yeah.
doing the things that they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
but still somehow end up in a situation that you just cannot fathom to imagine them being in that way. And so, I mean, I don't even know what to do to prepare myself to be strong enough and not just drop everything and say I'm moving with you.
Yeah.
We
You just keep them close. Yeah, keep
I'm
them close.
thinking with the parents, like you say, keep them close, because I think the kids, what they told my little cousin was like, basically, what you doing around here? You ain't supposed to be around here. So I think if it was more togetherness and more stronger together as the family, he wouldn't have been out there questioning my child while he's walking on his side of the street. Just a normal street, no one's name on it, but while he's walking over there. The brother tried to come see what was going on, and So this has to start at home. Parents, don't go to that club tonight. Do family time. Take out. Me and my kids would do some Monopoly till 4 in the morning. Girl, I'm telling you, we love Monopoly. But instead of, ask them, what's on your mind, baby? Come on, let's talk. What we doing tonight?
Yeah.
Let's do stuff like that. Because those babies were young. They were teenagers themselves. So what's not going on at your house to make you want to come out and just mess with someone else your same age for nothing? What's not going on? So we holding politicians, everyone with a platform, parents, period. Challenge your child to come on. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
We challenge each of you. We challenge all the viewers, people that are looking. We challenge you right now to come out to the second annual Grief Awareness Day on May 13th. Tell them exactly where it is, where they can be a part of, how they can contact you. I know the flyer has been flashing, but you can contact Trinette, or you can contact T, either one, to become a vendor. You heard them say they're looking for sponsors. They're looking for people to donate. We calling all you guys out to help. We calling for help. The Bible says we have not because we ask not. So right now we're asking for you guys to come out and do something for the community. Look, community event. You're gonna have things for your child to do. That's a event that you can bring your child to and commune with them.
Yeah.
That's a child event that you can bring your child to and spend some quality time with them.
Yeah, like they did for the at your spot for
Yeah,
Easter.
yeah,
You know
the
what I'm
Easter
saying?
hunt.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah,
just having fun with the kids. You know what I'm saying? We just having fun with the kids.
Yeah.
We having serious moments, of course, when it calls for that time to have the serious moment. We're trying to have fun with the kids.
Yeah.
We're trying to make sure there's enough vendors out there, enough food vendors for people. It's a public event.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's right at the Batarian Lapelco.
Yeah.
1968 by Terrick
yeah.
Boulevard.
Okay.
Y'all know where the old Shoney's at? If you're from the West Bank, you know where the old Shoney's used to be at right
Okay.
there. Right there behind a Save-A-Lot building, you know what I'm saying?
And I mean, T, you were so supportive with Men of Excellence. You probably need to call them, bring them on board, see if they can sponsor.
Yeah, I talked
in
with
some
Patty.
kind
Patty
of
said
way.
he game. He
So have them come out, have them let's put it all
Yeah,
together.
Coach Patty.
Let's put this
At
all
the end of the
together.
day, we
Yeah.
are our brothers and sisters
Yeah.
keepers. So
Right.
let's keep each other, y'all. Let's
Everyone's being
really,
held
really
responsible,
be
accountable.
about it. Don't just talk about
Yeah.
it.
Thank you,
Reach
Queen.
out to each other
Uh-huh.
and have an opportunity to positively love on each other and support each other and uplift each other and pray for each other.
Yeah, really do. You know, because if the kids can't read, well, at least they know we still got a community, right? They know if anything else fails, they got a community they can lean back on, right? So I don't like that narrative of our kids can't read. All right, we've been there, done that. We know sometimes we can't read. Cool. What is the community doing to make sure? Because guess what? You don't have to know how to read this thick book in order to survive in life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not meant to be a talented reader or a talented math person. We need to start looking into our labor force. You know, these high societies are built. Some people are just meant to be plumbers. You know, some people are meant to dig ditches.
But look,
Well,
circling back to that, we see the government cutting costs at all kind of trades.
Yeah.
So if they can cut in the one of the most money making trades in the world, okay, just think how much money they're gonna cut in other fields that are trades,
Right.
and less people, mostly us,
They cut
who
people
won't be
who watch.
available to learn those trades.
They're trying to do it not in a
They
trade.
They can do
They're
hell.
trying to do it. They're trying to do it not in a trade. They're trying to cut the 15 hours of our trade to 1,200, which is gonna, and that bill
To
is up
decrease the Pell
HB 47. So that's gonna
And they let
that's
this
gonna reduce the Pell Grant, and then additionally, it's gonna do what? You're not gonna have no more
Well,
beauticians.
People
We
You're
gotta
not gonna have
fight.
no
be
barbers.
ready to go to school.
You're
They
not
can't
gonna
afford
have.
it.
You're not gonna have any
You know-
of that because you're not gonna have the resources.
To
And
go.
most people that wanna be beauticians, barbers, and things like that, they need that Pell Grant money to go. The fact of people don't understand, like, and another thing that was told to me today, we don't vote, we don't fight, we don't go to politicians, go to our senators, I called somebody I knew yesterday and said, look, what's the next step? How do you do it? He said they brought it to the House. The next step, they're going to bring it to the Senate.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes we don't know those political ways because, honestly, I wasn't brought up in a household that's going to tell me about politicians, politics,
Right,
and everything
right.
else. I start getting more familiar with it when I change my surroundings.
Absolutely. Politics control everything, you know what I'm saying? Control the way kids read, control the way we get our resources, control in y'all industry, because that's regulated. You know what I'm saying? Politics control everything. I want to give a shout out to some of the politics that have responded to this event so far. You know what I'm saying? Politicians like Byron Lee, you know what I'm saying, who stepped up and got his people involved to help out with this, you know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to give a lot of them. These politicians got a tough job.
You're right.
And, you know, educating ourselves on how this political realm works, it takes time, you know what I'm saying, to fully understand whose job is what, you know, and how to go about it. But see what y'all talking about? We definitely got to get a few of those state representatives to, you know, participate in the conversation, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on, because that's their job. They're the ones who, you know, do a lot of this regulating on the industry you're talking about.
And maybe you guys can contact that in that district. I know you said Byron Lee came apart, but who's the next person over him? Who can
We would like for Cynthia,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
we want
let's get
Cynthia
all
to
that
come
in.
out. We
Let's
want,
Shepherd.
Yeah,
you
let's
know,
get all them.
we
them
want
in.
our sheriff Joe LaPenta to come out. Either
Yes.
other politicians from other municipalities to come out and just get encouraged about bringing something like this back to their community. You know what I'm saying? So finding people in the community who will be interested in organizing it, because again, Grief Awareness Day is an event that's designed to help the grieving parents of kids that lost their lives to gun violence. And as it's projected, we're going to be in this storm for a while now. We're going to be in this storm. So we got to learn how to keep each other, you know, covered from, or keep each other sheltered, you know, with love. You know what I'm saying? So if we can do it, not just just multiple communities just getting accustomed to,
counteractive to what they're
yeah,
predicting.
like the lemon day, you know what I'm saying, when everybody be outside selling lemons. I just want to say this before we get out of here. When we look at the amount of black men we lost, I started counting in 1990. You know what I'm saying?
So you're doing your takeaway right now.
Yeah,
okay. We're in the takeaway.
I'm sorry. I just want to.
Right.
It's a different takeaway,
yeah,
but
we're doing your
I'll
takeaway.
give another takeaway. But I just want to say this before we close this whole conversation down. When you look at how many black men and black women has lost their lives to a bullet, specifically a bullet coming from a gun by another African American or black American or a black person on the other side of that gun. If we start to do the numbers, it's depressing, it hurts, and it really sparks something inside of me, because we in the thousands. And if I just bring it down to Louisiana and 504 alone, we still in the thousands. That's thousands of black men and women who lost their lives suddenly. And we can't turn a blind eye to how depression and anxiety works, because this is the number one trigger, debt, sudden debt. And this stuff is a real disease. If they can take a monument for all the people that lost their lives in the wars and in 9/11 and place those names on the wall, if we did that for our community, we have a wall all the way down the street to remind us of how many lives we have lost to violence. If we had a wall to display the names to remind us, we'll never forget.
Now that part would be embarrassing, though.
That's why they build these walls, so we never forget the people. So I just want that to sink in to anybody who's listening. Everybody who's listening.
NOPD, JPSO, this is affecting on both sides of the river, so we need all the support. I don't live over there. You're a part of it. You have a TV. You have a heart.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Come on. Yeah.
Let's go.
So what's your takeaway, Trinette?
Yeah.
My takeaway?
We do a takeaway.
Yeah.
She might not know what that is. It's like, okay, so we do at the end of the segment, we do a takeaway, and that's just to tell anybody that's behind the camera something you want them to, once they close off this podcast, what is something that you want to tell them that's going to inspire them, that's going to encourage them, or whatever. You look into the camera and you give them a takeaway. What you want them to take away from this event? You know
what I want them to take away? I basically want everyone to know that what we're trying to do, create this community, this stronger together community, this deep support network for families, for parents. I want you to go hug someone today. You never know what someone is going through. Hey T, hey Queen, hey Queen. I want pass the hug down. I want the parents and families to know that there is a us that we can make bigger and bigger and bigger. And once these kids start seeing these tears come down these parents' eyes, we're gonna stop this, y'all. We can stop it. We can be stronger together for real. We can make this happen. And so I'm asking everyone to just go hug someone today. Go ask them how they doing. We need to start this. Bring neighborhood watch back. I'm a little old, just a little. And we had that back when I was coming up. So let's go back to what we know. Let's go back to make us better citizens, people, families, supporters. Let's just go back.
That's a good takeaway.
I have another takeaway.
Go ahead, T.
My takeaway is we really love our children. You know what I'm saying? We fear for them. We're afraid for them. You know what I'm saying? And I think we just gotta get smarter, because our time as the elders in 504, our time is now. You know, so whatever we do, we need to just start planning for them. You know, I know everybody like to do them. Let's figure out a way to do us as a community for our kids. Do it together.
Community.
Let's do them.
Do you?
Yeah, I like that. Let's do them. Let's do our
Don't
kids.
do you.
Moving
Do
forward,
them.
let's
People
start.
say sort of, do you? I'm a do you. Do you?
We really shouldn't be having we shouldn't be having no neighborhood events if the kids can't come. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
I like
You know, like everything needs to be centered around us planning them, and if we do us when they go to bed.
We
Now, if
see
you
where
ain't
they
got
at.
enough energy, then oh well, that's all on you.
Yeah.
But we do us after the kids go to bed. But everything we do need to be for them.
I like that.
I guess I'm gonna do my takeaway next. So
Yes,
initially going into this show, we were talking about grief awareness. I thought we were just gonna talk about grief, like dealing with grief and things like that. But as we talk through the show today, of course that's the bottom line, death.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of grievances that we're dealing with that is coming down to the bottom line.
Yes.
And so we're hugging each other, loving on each other, being our brother sister's keeper. Let's keep in mind on how the things that we do transpire and affect us down the line. Do things that are going to give positive effects. We don't want to do things that are going to build negative effects. We want to look to a brighter and better future. So we want to do better. We want to be better, like you said. However that is for you, support, whatever it is. We want to do things that are going to affect us down the line in a good way. And how many more years, T? You said 40 more years?
40 more years,
40
20
more
year
years.
anniversary.
So we got 40 more years to be able to celebrate unity, freedom, being alive, loving each other. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to be you.
Yeah.
Okay, because was a time we couldn't do that. So let's do those things that are going to positively affect us in those 40 years to come.
Yes.
And for our future, our kids.
So we can get prepared for the next 100.
That's right.
I ain't trying to be 140 years old and be. I want to live to when I'm like between 90 and 100, and I'm good. And I'm 49, so that's an extra. Well, I don't have many more years, but
80.
Yeah. No, I'll be 80 when it's. Yeah, I'll be 80. I'll be getting ready to check out. I'll be
say
an
that.
old man.
Don't say that.
And when I turn 90, that's a perfect age for me. Because once you get too old, then the dependencies start to go.
You
Yeah.
say that for you, but the people that surround you and love you, they're not gonna feel that way.
Right,
I'm
even
gonna
at 80.
tell you now.
Even at
we don't
80.
feel that way.
Yeah.
We
Even at
want to
80.
see y'all. I can't imagine a life without my grandparents. I've lost two of my grandfathers, but one of my grandfathers I didn't really know that well. But my grandfather that I grew up with, I mean, sometimes to this day I feel like if I could just look him in the face, and he, hug me,
Right.
hum and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you saying that, don't speak that on them people. Don't speak that on them people.
Y'all better get ready.
That's
90, I'm
right.
ready to go.
That's right.
Out here.
My takeaway is I would say to what been pressing on me is to live for today. We often worry about the past, and we so quick because we like a microwave society where we want everything so fast. But I think we need to enjoy today. We need to conquer today. We need to win today. And if we win today, we can win the week. If we win Monday and then we win Tuesday, then we win Wednesday, and we focus on each day. We want our house, we want our car, we want the successful business, we want the American dream, we want the marriage, we want this, we want that, but we're not living in today. We so focused on the future that we're not living in today. So that's what's been on my heart, is to conquer today. Conquer today with your children. Conquer today with yourself. If there's something you want to do. And another thing I was saying about Manifestation Monday, whatever you want in your life, you can do it. Whatever you want in your life, you can do it. You manifest it. You bring it to you. You manifest it. You have consistency. You hold yourself accountable. And guess what? Each day, and you can get it. Each day. I heard that today from who? My boy E.T. So
one day at a time.
We going to start calling it Manifest Monday.
Manifest Mondays.
Manifest
I like that.
Monday.
You got a T-shirt.
Yep.
You got a T-shirt.
Manifest
Manifest Mondays.
Oh.
Manifest Monday. Manifest it.
Manifest Monday.
Yeah.
Anything we want to do, that your event is gonna be a success.
Yep.
God gonna bless every area. Y'all gonna get everything that y'all need in it. What you doing, you're gonna get blessed for the labor. For what are you doing? He's gonna give you double for your trouble. No, I'm just saying, don't cry.
Make
don't
up,
cry, 'cause
make
we
up.
be crying on here.
Make
I
up.
saw her, we be crying.
I think I
Yeah.
started that
Yeah.
last week. It's about to be a roller coaster now.
Yeah, so
Get some
keep
napkins.
pressing. Keep pressing and don't let nothing I know it's at the end. I know when I give events, I know how it is. I know how it is. When you at that 2-week mark and you like, I want this to happen, I want that to happen, but he's gonna give you double for your trouble and he's gonna bless that thing. He gonna bless that thing. He gonna bless that thing. He gonna give you everything you need. And you call some politicians' names, I know them, I'm gonna call them too and say, are you on this?
Yeah.
Are you doing
Yeah.
this? Right.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Mo.
Yes. All right. No,
So,
no,
y'all, we don't even want to shut down the episode.
Right.
Y'all.
We
gotta
better
go.
talk at
We're
3
going to leave
gotta
y'all
go.
with a few more things, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to RedLip Talk. Okay, that's how you keep up with the events that we have going on. That's how you stay in tune to your community. So subscribe to RedLip Talk. Be a
With our
sponsor.
sponsors.
Yes.
Go to RedLip Talk on New
Be a
Orleans Talk
sponsor.
Hit 'em with the
Network.
sponsors,
You got a
Sonya.
business. You need people to see us. Be a sponsor on this show, and we're
Yeah.
gonna put you out there. Also, hey, you can make a donation. We have media advancements that we need to do at this network, New Orleans Talk Network. This is a platform for a lot of us that, we wouldn't have this opportunity without them. So support the network and make a donation on our page.
Yep.
It's just a click. You just need
We
a couple of numbers.
We very technical.
Very
I
technical.
think we have that
click.
donation page, right?
Yeah, we have
Right.
our
Yeah, we should have
donation
that
page.
donation page.
That's
Let's
right.
put that up.
So
Yeah.
if you like what we bringing to you, y'all, let's keep it going
Let's
and
keep it
give us some
going.
support.
And share, huh? Tag,
That's
share,
right.
and invite.
Tag, share, invite, like, all of that stuff.
All of that stuff.
If you a friend on my page, you better be liking and sharing. I'ma delete you. I'ma delete you.
Put your foot down.
Please do. Because them things work, man. When people like it and commenting, and it works. It keeps it on people's page.
Yeah, and if you need us to like host the event like we did for Bona Brothers, if you need us to do interviews,
Yeah, we
if
pull
you
up
need
on
us,
you.
we'll pull up on you.
Pull up on you.
Yeah.
Pull up on you.
That's
If you need
right.
us to interview people, the camera crew roll through.
We come through.
Yeah.
You heard me? We ain't shy. We talking to everybody. We talking to the janitor, the event organizer. We talking to the people who made the plumbing. If they come and walking up on us looking, that might gonna be in their face. We gonna edify your event. We gonna make sure everybody got something good to say
Yeah,
about it.
so we have two great events we want y'all to check out. Of course, the second annual Grief Awareness Day, May 13th, and it's in Batteria.
Yep.
Yes. 1968.
Yes.
Batteria Boulevard. We want y'all to contact Trinette Williams, 231-0950. I got good eyes. I can see that from here. She's the event coordinator. Of course, our boy T, the president of
The janitor of New Orleans
New
Talk
Orleans
Network.
Talk Network.
The
CEO of
janitor.
New Orleans Talk Network. He makes this possible. Contact him as well. Of course, we got Louisiana State Beauticians and Barber Association at May 27th through the 30th. We want y'all to be a part of that. Both events, you can be a vendor. The one that's coming up now on the 13th, we want y'all to be a vendor. Vendors. That's going to support them.
Let's circulate
and we
this
want
cash
you.
flow.
Yes, let's circulate
Yes.
this cash flow. So we thank y'all for being a part of RedLip Talk. We can't wait to
Yes.
see you. Yes, he putting up the flyer for the vendors. That's right. Contact your girl, me, Kree. If you need somebody, if you are a vendor, we only have we have 10. We have a target of 25. You have a target of 40, right?
Yeah, but I'm a regular vendor too.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna be outside.
Yeah.
We're gonna be outside. We're gonna need some buku people. We're gonna need. I just wanted to say, if you got a car show too, we got the car show thing y'all call.
Oh, definitely.
Oh
people,
yeah,
y'all
car
pull
show.
up.
Yeah,
Pull up.
really.
I forgot
We got
to
something
start
for
the
everybody.
food
We're gonna do a
challenge.
commercial. Don't worry about it.
Some,
Yeah. You have
some
a
for
food
everybody.
challenge too?
All you have to do is sign up to be a food vendor. There's
Oh.
a first prize of $200 plus a trophy. Second prize $100.
Oh, we got to put Dr.
And
Key
third
on there.
price 50, so you make your money ankle when your boo feedback. It's like
Yep.
a win-win.
Yeah, we got to put Dr. K on there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, well,
All right, y'all.
we out because we've been here a long time. We
Yes.
have some
Y'all.
good vibes.
Good vibes.
Y'all don't forget
That's
to do
how
the
it is.
line.
Good
I'm going to
vibes.
do the Wakanda forever.
Oh,
Y'all
Wakanda
gotta do the
forever.
kiss.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We tell us what we do our RedLip Diva podcast. Sona's charm.
All right, go ahead, Sona. Bring us out. Bring us
Y'all
out.
stay tuned to next week to the RedLip Talk podcast.
Wow.
Girl, come
We rolled that thing.
and sip some tea. Girl, come sit with us and sip some tea.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's Word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 West Bank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah,